Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Cult Divinity Lost. Yes, we have returned to Cult Divinity Lost because it is high time to do so. Yes, my most recent video spoke about how we had 48 hours left on Trinity Continuum Steam Wars Back-A-Kit campaign. Well, that's only 24 hours now. We also only have 48 hours remaining on Cult Divinity Lost's Dark Realms and Other Horrors. Yes, it is a double dose of promotion on this channel this week. I apologize, but we've got to make our money somehow. And that is a very important fact, I've seen some people comment to the effect of, I wish you weren't advertising so heavily on this channel, but as a game writer myself, as someone who basically needs to get paid to do this full time, and luckily I do, that is why I speak about these games in such glowing terms. Not only because I think they're fantastic, but also I really enjoy the work. And you wouldn't hear about all of these things if I wasn't telling you. So I do apologize if these videos aren't what you're here for, but at the same time, they are necessary. So, Dark Realms and Other Horrors. I spoke about it in my last Cult Divinity Lost video, but it is worth noting at this point that this Kickstarter has done absolutely astoundingly well. It has unlocked every stretch goal lined up. It is now a Kickstarter for 4 books and at an incredibly reasonable cost too. And you have already seen, I'm sure, the art style that goes into Cult Divinity Lost. It is horrific, it is sexy, it is dark, and it is disturbing, and it is always just utterly stunning, and that is no exception for these books. And these books, of course, they include Metropolis, the Eternal City, a source book all about that outer realm of Cult Divinity Lost that is so pressing in the setting. The Illusion and the Borderlands, which I've contributed a fair amount to. I do love my liminal spaces. The Borderlands book is going to have a lot of content in that you can use both as players and as GMs. There's Scarlet Bride and Other Tales, which is a big book of scenarios, and also Broken Reflections, a book of starter scenarios. And you really are getting an awful lot for your money if you back this campaign. You can order them all in PDF, you can order them all in print, you can even get special edition covers. Cult Divinity Lost is a fantastic game in its own right. It is the game I am most comfortable being disturbing with, if that's not a horribly mangled sentence. If you have listened to any of my Red Moon role-playing actual plays of Cult Divinity Lost, of The Shunned, Tapestry of Suburbia, it started and ended with Screams, The Summit, you'll know that I really delve deeply into a bit of psychological horror, some body horror, some sexual horror, and of course your planar occult horror too. All of that blends together in Cult Divinity Lost and makes this game so wonderfully evocative. It's a game that's always been incredibly important to me. And it's just fantastic to see how well it is doing on Kickstarter. As I say, only 48 hours remain for you to back to get all 4 of these books, and it is amazing value for money, so please consider doing so. Now, Peter Nallo at Helmgast, the company behind Cult Divinity Lost, wanted me to speak a little more on my scenario that appears in one of these books, the Trailer Park Blues. Now, I spoke about this in my last Cult Divinity Lost video, with the broad strokes of what the plot would be. I've been working on writing this. I've written the vast majority of the scenario at this point, and I think it is probably the most depraved thing I've ever written. I don't say that in an attempt to be edgy or shocking. I mean that it became for me in writing a real well that I could pour an awful lot of, I guess, my evil and corruption into. And that's one of the wonderful things about working on Cult. It is a wonderful vent for any impurities that you might have within you. So whether you're running it, writing it, playing it, you can really embrace evil in this game. And that's not to say your characters won't suffer the consequences of doing so. But for me, it's a wonderful catharsis. And part of what has done that for me in writing Trailer Park Blues is the cast of characters. I am always very keen in scenarios that I run to make the NPCs as vivid as possible. No character in this is without sin. Even the most, I guess, benevolent, holy characters in this game, in Trailer Park Blues, everyone has their own vice. Everyone has their own sin to feel guilt or shame over, and there is a lot of shame to be thrown around in Trailer Park Blues. The possibility at the end of the scenario, and I don't want to go into it in so much detail that I spoil it in case you run it or play it, the possibility that by the end of it, the characters may decide that, you know what, we're going to let the evil win. This power of madness, this muse, and the effect that she is having on everyone around her, this entire trailer park, and eventually a wider area, that we'll just let it roll out because the pit of iniquity we have built for ourselves, we've dug out for ourselves and buried ourselves in, is actually, it doesn't deserve saving. There is nothing worth saving in this world. All the evil, all of that corruption was made by us. And yes, what she is offering is disturbing. Yes, what she is doing is vile and dehumanizing. But maybe this world should be dehumanized because of all the misery that humans bring to it. This is something I've been exploring a fair amount of in Trailer Park Blues, and it has really resonated with me in a way that I'm not to say I'm a nihilist. All of a sudden I think everything should be destroyed, or I wouldn't care if it was. Nothing like that. I am just having so much fun coming up with something so soul-shattering. Now, if you want to enjoy that scenario, if you want to enjoy any of the scenarios in these books or in the setting material, the very many character options, there's so much available. From archetypes to story seeds to antagonists to campaigns, you're going to be able to pick it up through Dark Realms and Other Horrors. As I say, you've only got 48 hours left to do so, so please click that link below and check it out. It'll be much appreciated, and you will help a lowly author like me stay hired, because when books like these get made, I get hired to write on them, and then you get exposed to my evil and my corruption, and who would want to turn something like that down? Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.